We are talking Guthrie FFA tonight, some big-time happenings. It's freshly off from a trip from Indianapolis. We'll talk about that. And the huge, one of the big things every single year, the 89er Chuck Wagon is always a big thing in the carnival for Phil. But
I'm banned currently, but I like it.
You're off. And the pork chop dinner. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But
we're having 82 of those.
Yeah. Ronnie, I think you might be on the cable.
Oh, good job, Ronnie.
No, I'm on the tape.
Oh boy, which is on the cable.
Okay.
Oh, that was on cable.
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
Everyone's letting us know about the glitchings because Ronnie is sitting on the cable. Hopefully it's better.
Cut it?
I hope not.
Stream's good.
Yeah, it looks great. All right, 3, 2. You guys wanted to be on the show. 3, 2, 1. We are joined tonight by Guthrie FFA and fresh off Indianapolis trip, and that's the annual FFA convention, right?
Yeah, this was the 96th. 96th that they've had. So every year talks about the process because we had some national champions. We did.
And before the national, there were some state champions to qualify for that.
Yeah. So in April we have our state contest, and so our kids qualified at the state contest to go represent Oklahoma at the national contest. We were not only just livestock judging, but we had Zach Allen, Holden Ingram, won state and agri-science fair. Their process is a little different. They submit an application that gets graded. If it qualifies up in the top third, they're considered national finalists. They did an interview process through Zoom, and then they go and find out results when they get there type deal. So they placed 8th overall out of the nation. This is the second year in a row they've made that back-to-back. So very cool moment for those young men.
No doubt.
Doing a great job. They got to be pyromaniacs, and they love to burn things. So it's always every kid's dream, I guess you could say. And
Two really great kids.
Yeah, good, nice, quiet kids.
Well, we've had them up here to do that Zoom.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, and so well mannered, and great kids.
And so that was a cool opportunity. And then, like I said, our kids, we were actually state runners up on our livestock deal. The top team has the option to go on to nationals, but the problem is when you go to nationals, those 4 kids are now exempt from competing that contest.
Okay.
Tuttle, who won the state contest, had a very young team. They didn't want to burn their kids yet, so we got bumped up to go represent Oklahoma at the national contest. So 2 of our kids graduated last year, are currently at El Reno judging in junior college. And so it works out good that they can go do that as long as they don't judge on the college national contest. They can go compete at this national FFA contest. Steve Sanders, Mason Garrett are the ones that were doing that, and then Ridge Garrett, which would be Mason's brother, and Kenseth Zubrod are still in high school here, and so we've kind of tried to work out a little bit, neck and neck since that time. We took a trip 2 weeks ago to Purdue University and judged up there at a contest. That's the first time the kids had been back together since kind of graduation. And so we placed 6th overall there, and Steve Sanders was 3rd high individual there. So that was kind of the catalyst of, okay, we've got to feel we're kind of back in the groove of things. And so we got up to nationals last week. Got into Indianapolis on Tuesday, did some kind of just working and prepping stuff. Listen to the kids do some reasons and just kind of go over some things, and the kids were just on fire. I mean, it's kind of one of those deals you just felt like, okay, we're right where we need to be. And Wednesday we judged, and so at the end of the contest, they tell what they call critiques. They give you kind of the result, or they don't give you results, but they tell how you should place the class compared to.
So are they in a big room, big auditorium?
They were in a big, I call it indoor arena. It's at the Indiana Fairgrounds.
Okay.
And so it's a giant indoor arena. They had one half that was where the animals were at, the kids judged, and the other half is where they would talk reasons. And the reasons are simply, you have to tell why you place that class that way. You have 4 animals, you place them 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 3, 4, but rank them basically, top to bottom, and you have to go talk why you place them that way.
Yeah.
Convince that person that's listening that this is how it should be. while they were doing the critiques, one of the guys that was giving the sheep critique had made the comment, he's listening to kids in senior college, junior college, and high school give reasons, and he's never given a 50, and a 50 is a perfect score. And he said, but there's one young lady that's here. Matter of fact, he said we could probably let her on the mic and give this critique that I'm about to tell you, because she did it so well, and called out Mason Garrett.
Wow.
And, so that was the first 50 that guy ever gave. And for her to receive that was just, again, kind of a little more of a catalyst of, okay, things are doing well. And I'd always just told the kids, I just want you to be consistent, be kind of, placed somewhere close to each other. And that's kind of what wins a contest, is when kids are similar in their placings or in their scores. And from our top person to our bottom person on the team, there was about 16 points is all that spread them. Wow. So we were pretty tight. And so you find out the next day, so you spend all night kind of worrying, fretting, wondering, what's going to happen. They do an awards ceremony the first part of the morning, but they only tell the top 4 teams, but they don't tell you the rank of them. And so we had went through, they give individual awards or team awards for, top in swine, top in sheep, top in beef, and top in reasons. And in the swine, we were the second high team overall. In the pigs, we were the third high team overall. In the cattle, we were the first high team overall. And then the reasons, we were the number 1 team on that deal.
I hate to do this, but we're getting several messages.
We're recording.
Okay. All right. Very good. We were just having some technical difficulties.
And so we kind of, we had all those awards. And so you kind of felt like, hey, we're probably sitting in a pretty good spot, but there's a couple other schools there. They're pretty competitive, and so you're kind of, that's like I told the kids, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. We're just going to kind of play it cool and be chill about it. And so when we went across the stage and everything, just they done the individuals first, and Steven Sanders was a 6th high individual overall, and then Mason wins the entire contest. Mm-hmm. And then when we went through the top 4 teams, we find out we're the national champions. So. Just, again, amazing deal.
What's crazy is they go number 10. They announce number 10. Number 9.
Just make you sweat a little bit. And,
not gonna lie, somebody might have been standing at the front screaming whenever they announced who was in second.
Yeah.
They're going to Scotland really loud.
Yeah,
so.
I can only imagine that feeling, like number 5.
Yeah.
But and you hear the you're like, oh man, we're in the top 4. And then mention the top 3. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then mention number 2, and then that moment you guys know national champions.
Well, and it was kind of funny. So when we were backstage, they were going to bring individuals and the teams out together. Well, there was a guy holding up the teams, and I was like, I need to be out there because I've got 2 kids out there, and I want to see how, I want to be out there for that moment, see how they did and everything. And it was almost kind of a fist fight back behind the stage, so I could get up there and see. And we just kind of pushed our way and said, we're going out there, and they didn't stop us, so it was all good.
FFA is so different because, like in football or basketball or cheerleading, you kind of know your competition because you've seen them throughout the year. Yeah. But at nationals, you have no idea what you're up against.
You don't.
You know they're great, but
like in that livestock judging, there's probably about 5 or 6 key states that are pretty good on that deal. And but for me, the question was, the team that was runner-up, Montana, they're normally not in the running of that deal, and so for them to kind of come into the play of the game, that's me. I'm like, okay, where are they fitting in this puzzle of things? And are they going to bump us out, or are we still safe type deal? And so that kind of, and I was happy for that team. That was kind of those teams nobody had on the radar, and for them to come in there, that's good for them to kind of represent their state and accomplish that.
Was that do you know, so the total points spread between first and second place, right?
A distance.
Yeah.
We didn't, we didn't know any scores until after. They won't release any scores on that until everything's done, because obviously they don't want you to know. And once we had got done, there was a friend of mine that was helping officiate the contest, and I had sent him a message, and thanking him for his help during the contest. And I'd asked him, I said, can you kind of tell me where we were on score-wise? And so he sends me our score sheet, and I'm kind of looking at it. Well, he sends a text, and he says, in case you haven't got to it yet, between you guys and the second-place team, there was 56 points difference.
It's huge.
And that is huge. That's you don't normally, and how you can relate to it is the team that won state versus us, there was only 13 points separating us.
So is that like a 62-0 football score?
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the best way. Is
He's going to be humble, but I'm the rookie ag teacher, so I'm going to say they smoke showed it.
Yeah.
They smoke showed it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what, you know, again, it makes you proud that your kids not only just showed up, but they really showed up and did what they were supposed to.
Kids realize in the moment, or did it take a couple hours?
Because when they're announcing them, they're like acting like, oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, they knew, but you know, and like I've said, you know, this week I think is probably when a lot of it has settled in. I mean, you are so much in the moment of everything, and of course you're standing on the stage and there's bright lights and there's all things going on.
Keep in mind, there's 77,000 people sitting
Yes.
in
77,000?
the Lucas
Yeah.
Oil
Okay.
Stadium.
Wait a second, 77,000
Yes.
people? Holy smokes!
Yeah, and I knew it was a bunch because
just got nervous.
watching the stream how many people were in there. I would have never guessed that many, but I knew it was up there for sure. So wow,
And,
77,000.
And so, I mean, and of course, you know, immediately when you come off, you know, the rest of our chapter caught up with us, and so we got to celebrate together and just, you know, it was so cool. We took 14 kids up, and you know, I said it was nice that we had our own cheering section.
Yeah.
You know, that those other kids who didn't compete were loud and they brought the noise, and that just, you know, amplifies everything, and to get to celebrate all that together was just a cool moment. You know, a lot of tears,
Imagine
a lot
all
of hugs.
all the Oklahoma schools were part of that.
Oh yeah,
part of that.
yeah. I mean, you know, Oklahoma, as far as National FFA, Oklahoma ranks 4th or 5th with the largest membership, and when we go to convention, I mean, we're a highly successful state across the board, and so that makes a big difference.
Can I guess number one? Iowa.
No, actually, Texas.
Oh, space. Yeah, I should have been Texas.
Kansas.
Kansas is way down there. They don't show up very good.
Football school, Phil.
We are a football school.
It goes kind of Texas, California, Georgia, and then Ohio, and that's kind of flip flop
Okay,
back. and
okay, I
forth.
see that. Yeah.
Awesome. Stephen Hager, our Mercy Manager, says, way to go. Clay is a great guy. Greg Gibson, way to go, FFA. Love them. And Tony Wilson, our friend in Chandler, 4-year ag member here. Congrats, Guthrie FFA. What an accomplishment.
It is.
Knows all about that. So, national champions there. And then, real quick, talk about Zach and Holden. Finished 3rd nationals
Last year. Last year they were 3rd. This year they're 8th.
But they bumped up. They bumped up a section.
Yeah, I mean it's
Okay, yeah.
That deal is tough.
That's what I was going to ask. Just
it
to get
is.
back to that stage
Yeah.
again.
You know,
Back-to-back top 10s. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's kind of after we come off stage with those guys, you know, kind of huddling up, and I mean, you know, it's hard that you go from a high and not that I'm not proud, because I'm very proud of those guys, but you know, you want it for them just as bad as they want it,
Yeah.
and so. And like I told them, you know, there wasn't a person on that stage who had accomplished what they'd done of being there 2
Right,
years
exactly.
in a row. And so that makes a huge difference there. I mean, they're back-to-back state champions, you know, and so that's something else that they can, you know, wear forever that they accomplished. And they've still got time to go. We're not done.
Yeah,
by any means.
yeah. I was
So
gonna say they're
Looking
coming
for
from-
the 3rd state title and the
looking
3rd
for-
top 10.
Yeah, we're going after that national championship.
awesome.
So.
How they react? I mean, finish 8th in the national is beyond what most anybody can ever do. They finished the year. Was it down? Do they understand how big? I mean, finished 8th.
I think they
For them,
understand.
it's like, do they understand how big of a deal that still is?
I think they do. You know, again, you know, I'm just kind of speculating of you've just watched some of your other team members become national
Right,
champions.
right, yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, it is a little painful.
Sure.
You know, and nothing against the livestock kids by any means, because I mean they were just as happy. But you know, you want that for all your kids.
For all the kids,
You know,
that's right.
you want them to come across, and that's why I talked about, you know, for me was coming off of Thursday and then Friday changed the mindset of, okay, let's go grab another one of these and take it home to Guthrie. And so, and it's, that deal is a hard process. You know, again, I always talk about the Zoom interviews they do. There is no kind of guide or ramifications of anything. You're just kind of at the mercy of those people asking questions. And, you know, so it's totally subjective of what they're feeling,
Yeah.
you know? And so again, I'm happy with what we done, because I know that those kids worked hard They presented the facts. I got to listen to the interview and listen to them talk and present their information. They nailed it.
Yeah.
And that's what I told them. I said, there's nothing that we could have done different. And that's at the end of the day, that's what you're happy about, that you gave all you could do. So
Well, I know they're real quiet kids, very smart kids, but I know they're competitive inside.
Yes.
Well,
And
and
so
that, I
that's
think
what.
as a new teacher and not knowing the boys as well as Mr.
Yeah.
Drake does, I think the fun part to watch was, while yes, it was painful and they were a little heartbroken about it, but in the same breath, it was good. It was good to know that they cared enough that they want it bad enough to go back and do it
exactly.
again.
Yeah.
I not being there, I knew that would be their mindset. That's why I asked the question earlier, because I knew that's how they're wired that
Yeah,
way.
they are
So
wired
very
that way.
cool. So national champions, big convention. What's the next step for Guthrie FFA?
Well, this week is pork chop dinner. we come off and just kind of.
Well, can we get to that one after?
So, I guess the big news is being national champions, we qualify to this summer go overseas. There's a show. It takes place in Scotland and Ireland called the Royal Highlander Livestock Exposition. So we will get to go over there and compete and judge, actually. So us, Tuttle won the American Royal, so it will be two Oklahoma teams actually going over.
That's awesome.
And competing. We'll compete against each other, but you're also competing against teams from around the world, basically, on that deal. So
Go in together and get cheaper air flight.
I wish share a ride, do something to help on that deal, because
Plane pool.
yeah,
Plane pool over.
jump in somebody's suitcase, carry on, whatever. But today we got more information on the deal. We'll be there from June 19th through July 3rd. It costs $6,000 a person to go. Mm-hmm. So now we're on the game plan of how do we pay for this trip.
Yeah.
So, but again, just a cool opportunity that it's like I told these kids. Oklahoma, this was the 19th win Oklahoma's had on livestock judging.
Wow.
Okay.
So I said, you guys are
In the 94 years of the
in the entire and the livestock judging is probably, I'm going to say, it's probably the oldest contest they've had in FFA.
Yeah.
I mean, it was around before FFA was actually started. It was, there are a lot of places that used to have it, Chicago Fair and all that stuff. So, one, the prestige to win that, it says a lot. Two, to go represent, now you're representing the United States at this contest, says a lot about that. So, just kind of some cool things there for those kids that, the experience in their lives that most people will never come close to.
You mentioned the cost of that. I'm sure you guys just got the information, so you'll be putting a game plan on some fundraising type deals. But if anybody wants to make a personal donation, how would they go about that?
The best thing is just send it to Guthrie FFA or reach out and call us, and we'll gladly do what we need to do.
Yeah.
The good thing is donating to a school is tax deductible. So there's some benefits there as well. Again, we are we're sitting down this afternoon trying to brainstorm of, what are some things we can do?
Spaghetti on Monday, meatloaf on Tuesday.
We're going to have a golf tournament every weekend until May.
Little shooting sports contest, little of everything.
But I do know this about the community of Guthrie: we will raise the money.
Oh yeah.
We will raise the money.
One of my favorite things is always been, and it doesn't matter if it's ag, football, drama, whatever it is, that this community comes together for its kids and its school. So, while it can seem kind of crazy because we're going to have to raise about $50,000, at the same deal, it's comforting to know that you're in a community that people will step up and help that.
And the FFA community is really strong.
It is. But again, like I said, I go back to, it really doesn't matter what activity or what group. If there's a need, people step up and they take care of these kids. They give them those opportunities.
And just like this, Phil, Steph Hartzell with Strive Wellness Lounge here on Oklahoma Avenue will donate 5 $200 gift certificates and $200 cash to the FFA trip. So just like that.
Thank you.
It's a start.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a start.
incredible.
That's awesome. Thank you, Steph.
And this is a trip of a lifetime.
100%.
It truly is.
It is.
To be able to go compete against the world in anything
In Ireland.
is unbelievable. It's just unbelievable.
Well, and like I think what I'm excited is they've got some different tours for the kids to kind of see agriculture from a different standpoint.
Yeah.
Things that we won't ever fathom or think about how they do agriculture there, and some of the livestock they're going to see is something that they'll never see in their lifetime. It's totally different quality, totally different types, and so for them to have that experience as well is something that I think is pretty neat as to take part of.
Yeah, even as an overview of the Guthrie FFA program, the junior high kids or the kids that are just missing out are seeing this on the big stage and realizing if they work hard, they can be on that stage.
100%.
no doubt.
We've got a group of 8th graders, I tell you, are on fire. And when Miss Rennick has one 8th grade class, I have another. And when we were able to come back and tell them that we won nationals, you would have thought that they were just running amok in the classrooms. They were hooping and hollering and screaming and yelling because they were so excited.
I think anybody, whether you ever had an affiliation with FFA or the ag industry in any way, when you hear national champions, and then the individual national champion,
and we're going to Scotland.
And you're going, but that catches everybody's attention. I mean, I don't care, like you said, whatever activity it is, that's impressive.
It is, and again, that's what I've told kids a lot of times. A lot of kids will call themselves state champions. Very few will get the chance to call themselves national.
Yeah. In fact, the only national champion I can associate Guthrie was with the girls' national championship back in 1923, which is probably a little bit different sports. But this is 2023, and national championship. Not taking away from the 23 girls basketball team, but 2023 with 77,000 people in an arena is a huge deal.
The pressure on that is unbelievable.
Sure.
Unbelievable.
And that's why I go back to, again, I know the kids felt the pressure at the contest, but they just handled it so well. I mean, it's like being here at Jelsma, in the full, for those kids to handle that pressure, and our big talk the night before was just go have fun. You know what to do, you know how to take care of things, just go have fun and do it. And that's what they showed up and did. And so that was, again, the cool part of that to be able to handle, you're not only representing Guthrie, but again, Oklahoma has a long-standing tradition of doing very well in that contest, and so for them to handle that part and show that they deserve to be on that stage, standing there. So,
wow,
very cool, very cool. So then the next big thing for the FFA, deep breath, national championship, Scotland, come down a little bit, but it's still an important thing, and a lot of people know this on a yearly basis here. Mr. Chappell, get ready. You're going to win another Yeti this year. I can feel it. Another Yeti for Mr. Chappell. But
you got my number for the...
No, I didn't know you had anything.
Well, I'm giving you my numbers. Make sure you pull them out.
Oh, that was I threw it the other way.
Try again.
Yeah.
Better go buy some more tickets.
Yeah.
I'm sure he still
9 years
has
in a row.
those.
Tickets in my pocket.
That's what I'm talking about. 9 years in a row.
It is the FFA Pork Chop Dinner.
Yes.
It's the annual event. You can win a tractor. You can win I'm guessing the Yetis are back.
Yetis are back.
Yeah.
So you're going to give away a Gator, John Deere Gator. It is a 4-wheel drive. Nice Gator. We appreciate P&K Equipment. They really help us on this deal, so it makes a big difference. But
what's the value on that?
If you were to go buy it outright, I think it's around $15,000.
So if I win the Gator, we'll have an auction, and you can use, and I'll give all the proceeds to go to Ireland.
Well, and that's what I told a lot of people.
Listen, get his
Chris
ticket.
always gets mad when I say this because we could use a Gator on occasion.
We can always use a Gator.
But I'm serious about that. I think that'd be cool. That's a great way to raise a big chunk of money to support the kids.
It is, and I think I'm always kind of curious to see how this shakes out. Everybody's got their kind of theories of I need to buy this or do that type deal, and John Benson won it last year. She bought one ticket, so
Chappell buys one ticket every year too.
Well, he buys the big ticket.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
So buys the big
we
ticket.
appreciate that as well. So.
Pork Chop Dinner Saturday, November 11th. It all starts at 5 o'clock at the Logan County Fairgrounds. Pork Chop Dinner tickets are $10 each. Tickets will be $15 at the door. So we got
all of our pre-sold tickets are done.
They're done.
It's $15 at the door now. So sorry,
15 only.
Miss that, but it's $15 at the door now. We still have some Gator tickets available, so we'll have
How
the
many
Gator.
do you sell?
300?
We're selling 1,000 this
1,000.
year. Again, we have to kind of balance that by what it cost us for the Gator.
Yeah.
And so we've had, our lovely inflation. We've had to raise that up and everything. Now,
Prices never go down, Chris.
The cool thing of that is we'll draw down till when we get to 2 tickets, and then we're going to sell a ticket to get back into that deal.
That's where Chapel gets you.
Chapel.
That's where Chapel gets you.
And then what happens?
But it's an auction for that ticket, right?
It's an auction
Yes.
for that ticket. And so what happens is we spin the hopper, and the first ticket drawn out, it's going to get a Yeti. The second ticket drawn out is going to get a Yeti, and the last ticket remaining, they're going to get a Gator. So, but we've also got a lot of nice like live auction, silent auction things. So if you're not interested in the Gator deal, there's lots of things. I know we've got something coming from Lowe's. Sometimes it's a cooker, or sometimes it's a chainsaw. I believe we've got a chainsaw from P&K in Stillwater that's coming. We've got some feed from L&C. We've got a lot of baskets for the silent auction that, a little of everything, what you want.
So not too late to donate if you want for the silent auction.
No, well, and we'll do that night.
Yeah.
So, they can come down that night, get their plate, and then go along the tables.
But if you want to donate something.
If you want to donate something, we'll gladly take that as well and everything. This supports our booster club, which, again, is tremendous of helping our kids with trips, like this national convention, they sent some money to help kids pay for meals and things like that. They do scholarships for all the kids that get their CFA degrees. And so, it really helps a big cause on a lot of things, just doing this.
And the food's good.
And the food's great.
Really
Pork chop, salad, green beans, bread, dessert, and a drink. And the good thing is we want you to go and stay, but you can pick it up.
You can pick it, go. I think we give Chick-fil-A a run for the money in our to-go line. They've got it pretty down to the science. They do very well. I've looked out there, and I don't see very many cars in line very long, so I know that.
Hey, we're all in ag, even if you don't grow it or raise it.
You got to eat 3 times a day.
We all eat it, so everybody's in ag. Everybody has a connection to this. So I just want to say personally, Clay's my neighbor. He didn't think very good when
he didn't.
He didn't think that through.
I didn't check out the neighbor, but they lied to me.
But I'm really proud of Clay. I'm proud of everybody, but Clay puts in countless hours. We were talking before we came on the air. I leave pretty early. I see Clay many mornings leaving when I do. See Clay coming in many nights, driving in, waves at me when he drives by, and it's late at night. And I know that goes for all the ag instructors. I just get to witness it with Clay every day. But if you've never been associated with ag, this is so time intensive. What our instructors do, what our parents do, what the kiddos do, and to be a payoff of national championships, state championships, and this awesome opportunity to really a once in a lifetime trip to go overseas and represent our state, our country in this competition and our community is a big deal. So I just personally encourage everybody, let's do what we can. Let's get this money raised as quick as we can so they can not be waiting, trying to hit a deadline come May. Yeah. Let's try to get this done as soon as we can so they can just focus on the fun and the preparation for the trip, because that's a big deal.
So 2 things, press release.
I got you.
Okay. And then also, when you guys come up with your fundraising, let us know.
Yeah, definitely will.
We'll get that out there.
Again, I appreciate what you guys do. Your guys is, the way you guys get information and stuff out there is huge, as well. So that helps not only again our program, but the school.
Yeah, we were able to get the national championship and all that stuff out as soon as we could live. We were watching it live, and then we were during the football broadcast for Zach and Holden's deal, and we got that out as soon as we can. We were able to put the photos on the broadcast and all that.
But I want to kind of touch, again. So this is Dusty Oldenburg. She joined us this past year. I've begged her for about 6 or 7 years to come do this, and she finally did it. Savannah Rennick was going to be here, but this is our nomination time for sheep and goats and cattle, and she's out actually doing ag teacher duties while we're here. So, it does. It takes a lot of people, and again, I can't stress, the community, the support that we have, the kids we have. We've got 230 kids in this program who are just, amazing.
That's awesome by itself.
Yeah, I think if you combine the band and the football team, maybe not get that up to that number. So
that's awesome.
But it was again, it was cool to after that win of having teachers text these kids and call these kids.
Banners, I'm sure that's cutting, but banners across
banners across town. I will say, my kids have gone to a small school, and I live just north of here in Mahal, and I'm not gonna lie, we got to the edge of town and we got to about here, and it was like everybody just lining the streets, and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The leakage from the eyes started. The kid, I'm over here trying to drive, and the kid's like, "You okay, man? Just look out the windows.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to me. Just look out
Yeah,
the windows."
the people, because you got a police escort.
Yeah.
Big, huge thank you to the sheriff's
Yeah,
office.
Damon and
And he was
the
part of it.
deputies,
Damon,
yeah.
he's a very active sheriff.
Well, and I want to, I mean, it was cool. And even when we come back from state convention, we had sheriff deputies meet us. You know, we had a big state convention with Zach and Holden. Steven Sanders was the state star in agribusiness, which is a huge deal. You know, again, we've had a very successful 4 years going on right now. Yeah. And so those kids, I mean, it just made their day. I mean, you know, again, most people will never get that in their lives. And for that moment, you know, again, it's cool to get phone calls and texts from ag teachers who've seen the videos and are like,
that's awesome.
Wow, I wish our town would show up and do something like that.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of again, you can kind of stick your chest out and say, that's just Guthrie for you.
So when we win the world championship, what are we going to do then?
I hope they like send me to Mars. You know, I'm looking big and beyond. I want to go like, how far can I push this?
That trip's going to take a few more pork chops.
If we win the world championship, I may retire. It may be time to go out on that high note and say, I'm done.
Well, Dusty and Clay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Just
Big time, guys.
outstanding accomplishments. And we'll have we have the pictures and all that stuff, but when we get the official press release, we will get that out, and it'll be in forever in the interwebs, and we'll be sure to get that out there. So
It's a proud moment. For
it is
all of
very
us.
cool.
It is.
Yeah, it was so cool. We were at Jelsma, and we're like,
looking.
It was 6:09.
Had it up on our phones. We're trying to watch it.
It was cool.
Well, that's always a tough deal because, you know, we're an hour ahead. So I'm trying to tell everybody it's you know, it's 6 o'clock Oklahoma time.
Yeah,
you know,
because the rookie put the wrong. Rookie.
It happens.
If we all get on the same time schedule,
Right.
it'll be an issue,
Can you
right?
get that fixed?
I'm not going to push my luck.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Legislators are working on it, Phil.
Oh, okay.
They'll
I
take
trust
care of
them.
that, so. All right. Well, that'll do it here. We appreciate you guys stopping
Thank you
by.
all.
Sorry for
Thank
coming
you,
on late,
guys.
but glad to get on there.
You bet.
And we would normally push a button, a big old
There is none.
60-second commercial or
So we
something.
just get the exit stage.
So we just get up and say.
And Ronnie can't get up and sing.
He's the nucleus. We refer to him as the nucleus. The nucleus.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Friday nights. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate all very much.